This is 6 Minutes, a seriously international daily newscast. It's Thursday, June 5th. I'm Bertrand Hauger. People are leaving the office in Jakarta, while the day is just starting in Montevideo. Here in the Worldcrunch newsroom in Paris, it's just after midday. These are the latest headlines. Germany's new Chancellor Friedrich Merz is set to meet Donald Trump for the first time. A Russian strike kills 5 in Ukraine just hours after a Trump-Putin phone call. And our daily quiz question takes us back to the future. Our top story today is the U.S. travel ban announced by President Donald Trump for citizens of 12 countries, including Afghanistan, Haiti, and Iran. An additional 7 countries are facing partial travel restrictions, including Cuba and Venezuela. Trump said the ban, which will come into effect from June 9th, aimed at protecting Americans from foreign terrorists and other security threats. In Ukraine, a nighttime Russian drone strike that hit the northern city of Pryluki on Thursday killed at least 5 people, including a 1-year-old child. The attack came hours after a phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, who reportedly said that Russia would retaliate for Ukraine's stunning drone attacks on Russian military airfields over the weekend. Germany's new Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, is set to meet U.S. President Donald Trump for the first time on Thursday. Our More Than a Minute feature today focuses on escalating tensions between the U.S. and China after Beijing blocked rare earth exports. Another miscalculation of Xi Jinping by Donald Trump, says political analyst Pierre Haski in his daily géopolitique commentary for French public radio France Inter. The piece has been translated by Worldcrunch, and the English audio produced with the help of automated voice technology. Pierre, could you tell us how Washington's trade war with China is looking right now?
This is Donald Trump's cry from the heart. I like President Xi of China, always have and always will, but he is very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with. He wrote Wednesday on his Truth Social platform. We could spend endless time commenting on Trump's choice of words, but this one deserves a closer look. What did the American president expect when he imposed 145% tariffs on China, slapped a technology blockade on the country, and announced a re-examination of visas for the 270,000 Chinese students in the United States? That the General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, a man he says he likes, would capitulate in the face of so much pressure, that he would be crawling at his feet to demand a deal, as Trump himself boasts in his rallies. This is a basic misunderstanding of the nature of the confrontation between the two giants of the 21st century, which will define the balance of power between them for decades to come. The United States has the power to hurt the Chinese economy, but China has a greater capacity to bear pain than the United States by the very nature of its political system. It also increasingly has the means to counterattack. China has slammed the brakes on exports of rare earth materials, the precious minerals essential to modern industry. It dominates the world market of these resources, and this is starting to hurt. This is because at a meeting in Geneva last month, the Chinese promised to resume exports. But the granting of export licenses is particularly slow, a nerve-wracking Chinese process that makes Beijing's nuisance potential fully felt. This is already the case in a number of key industries, not only in the US, but also in Europe, where magnets made from specific rare earths are starting to run out. The Wall Street Journal reported Wednesday that American car makers who are at risk of having to close their factories are considering circumventing the Chinese embargo by having their engines manufactured in China. This would be the only way to obtain supplies.
What are Trump's choices after the rare earth ban?
One of the main aims of Trump's tariffs was to bring production back to the U.S. They are likely to achieve the exact opposite. The president is considering declaring a state of economic emergency that would allow him to accelerate rare earth mining permits in the U.S. But this is a long-term solution, not one that can be implemented in a matter of weeks. China has already used the rare earths embargo weapon on one occasion against Japan a few years ago to express its resentment. How could the American administration not have anticipated this? It's a miscalculation that places the U.S. in a weak position at a time when rumors of direct talks between Xi and Trump are circulating and when Sino-American trade negotiations should be resuming. At the risk of upsetting Donald Trump, let's recall the nickname Wall Street has given him. Taco, T-A-C-O, Trump always chickens out. His love declaration to Xi Jinping is beginning to sound just like this.
Déclaration d'amour à Xi Jinping commence à y ressembler.
We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which takes us back to the future. The original cast of the 1980s science fiction franchise reunited to plead for the return of a prop that went missing about 40 years ago. Which one? Is it A, the DeLorean time machine? B, Marty's hoverboard? C, the Gibson ES345 guitar? Or D, the self-lacing Nike shoes? The correct answer is C. The original cast of Back to the Future reunited to call for the return of the cherry red Gibson ES345 guitar played by Michael J. Fox in the franchise's first movie, which went missing during the production of the sequel in 1989. That's the latest from around the world. If you liked this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press, delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. Bis morgen!